Hey, welcome to this little video. Now, in this tutorial, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to be a good practice sitter when you are a developing medium working with other developing mediums. So whether this is in our practice group or whether this is actually in class when you come to class, what does it mean to be a good sitter? When we're with other developing mediums, let's be honest, we really want to help them. We know we're in this situation ourselves. We know how it feels. Now, what we've got to be really careful of is trying to offer too much help to our developing medium. Well, what does this mean? It means sometimes filling in the blanks for the developing medium. So say for instance, you are the sitter, right? So we're looking from the sitter's point of view. Your medium is giving you evidence and they say something to you like, I can see that he's working with his hands. And then as a response to that, you fill in what that thing is. So that might look like, oh, yes, he was a mechanic, or, oh, yes, he was a carpenter. Now, when we do that, what we do is we take away the evidence from the medium. When we talk about our layering technique of giving our evidence, what this means is when you fill in the next piece of evidence, technically your medium can't use that evidence. Why? Because you've provided them that information. Now, that in the industry is called fishing. So this means that as the medium, we cannot now say, oh, and now I'm seeing cars and I would understand you would be a mechanic because you've just been provided that information. So that's a no-no in the mediumship world. So what we want to do to be a really good sitter to our developing medium is to only use our yes, no, don't know, not sure. Okay, this is what you should be using, and you should be using mainly your yes and no, because if we're using I'm not too sure maybe too often, rather than saying no, because let's be honest, we don't want to say no to our developing medium because we know what that feels like ourselves. But what that means is it doesn't give a clear answer to our developing medium. So it can get a little bit messy in the reading when our medium doesn't have clarity of whether you understand that information or you don't. It's actually better for you to say, no, I don't understand that information. That helps, right? Your medium, that helps the medium so much more. All right, because then they have a clear idea of, okay, if I've received this information and it's a no, I can go back and have a look. What is this? Let's open the box. Let's lean in a little bit more and see if we can get a bit more information. But what happens is when you actually provide that evidence blank, you fill in the spaces for the medium, it then becomes really difficult because they can't really continue down that avenue. Let's be honest, if we're a medium, we give some pieces of evidence and then our receiver gives us information that fills in that blank, or yes, he was a carpenter, and we say something like, oh yes, I see him building furniture. It's just a little bit of a gray area because you've just taken the information that your sitters give you and you've used it as evidence. We can't do that. Unfortunately, we can't do that. All right. So let's be a good sitter. So if you are the sitter, remember to use yes, no, don't know with your developing medium, because this is really going to support them better or more than filling in the blanks for them. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this was helpful.